Hello, good morning, children. How are you all? I hope you all are well. So, let's start today's lecture. Okay, good. So, today we are going to start a revision lecture for some chapters which is tough or a little bit hard for you to learn. But before that, we discuss some topics of the past lectures. So, till now, we done total 3 chapters of history: first, second, and seventh. Then, fourth chapter of civics: 8, 9, 10, and 12. And 2 chapters of geography: 14, half, and 17. Right? So, I hope you all are regular and see the lectures regularly and perfectly and complete your file note regularly. But students who not regular with from the starting, for that students and also for the other students, I try to make revision lectures for you. So those students जिनको स्टार्टिंग का पढ़ा था उनके लिए ये रिवीजन लेक्चर बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है. So don't miss it, please. And from today to the till end, please be regular. So let's start today's lecture. Okay. So we start from the history. So in history, we have done total 3 chapters: rise of British rule in India, then First World War, Industrial Revolution, and the 7 post-independence India. So we try to complete these 3 chapters revision in within 2 lectures, because then we start the revision of civics and then we start the new chapters of our syllabus. So we try कि ये चैप्टर्स का रिवीजन है वो 2 lectures में कंप्लीट हो जाए. ओके, so start the chapter number 1 of part of civics. See students, I cover only the important points, not all the points, because we have done already this chapter one time. But now it is a revision lecture, so it is a little bit speedy and also cover the only important points, not all the points covered in this in this lecture. Okay, because it is revision lecture. And if you see from the TV channel and if you missed other lectures, then you can find out those lecture in YouTube. Vishruti Gohel is the name of YouTube channel. So you can find out the all lectures of mine and you can see the all lectures and also study. Okay? Good. Everyone there? Okay, perfect. So let's start. In first and second para, not that much, but a little bit like 2 to 3 lines is important. So in this chapter, what we learn and what we told in these 2 para, I explained you. In this first paragraph, it can be, it won't say that India has a incomparable position in whole world due to its economic culture and religious inheritance. But in ancient period, not now, because economic prosperity, cultural inheritance, then spices, muslin, silk, etc. are the famous things of India, which are demanding in European countries. So that's why the trade between India and Europe was carried out through land route and sea route, and that's why the sea route is found out. So, first, uh, con- in 1453, in by the Turkish Muslim, a sea route through the Constantinople was closed for the European, but they could not do without the spices. The European felt compelled to discover the new sea route, and the discovery of sea route to India are the most important questions for the examination. Please tick mark, students. Discovery of sea route to India, it is important topic for examination. Underline the name of King Prince Henry, then Cape of Good Hope wala topic, I mean to say line. Then in 1492, again came to and stop at island and presently known as West Indies. And the most important 2 to 3 lines in this para is here last third Columbus, who had believed throughout his life that he had discovered a new sea route to India, had actually discovered a new land. Since this clarification was made by Amerigo Vespucci, this new land began to be known as America. This 3 line is important. Then see the sea route. First, Portugal to Turkey, Baghdad, Iran, Kalitak, and India. So that is old route, and the new route is from Lisbon to Cape of Good Hope, then Mozambique, or directly Kochi or Kalitak and to the India. Clear? Good. See perfectly. Okay. Good. Now, arrival of European to India. In this topic, please underline the important line only. I tell you, and you underline this. Portuguese were the first to arrive in India for trade after the discovery of sea route to India. Within a span of 100 years, the Portuguese took control of several territories like Diu, Daman, Goa, Cochin, Malacca, etc. Then, underline, when Queen Elizabeth of England gave a permission to East India Company to carry out the trade with the eastern countries, the first ship under the leadership of Captain William Hawkins arrived in Surat. Okay? Underline this to top line. I mean to say 2 point. Okay, good. Then underline, due to dominance and the possession from the Portuguese, they were not allowed to establish their trade. See students, just I tell you the important points because it is revision lecture. Before this, we have done this chapter in detail. You can see in my YouTube channel. The name of that channel is Vishruti Gohel. Social science for standard 9th. Search this type line like a standard 9th, social science, English medium, this chapter, so you easily find out. Because totally explain detail in revision lecture is not possible. So underline, British East India Company established its first trade center in Surat in 1613. Then underline the Mumbai became their headquarter in 1687. Then underline the East India Company arrived in India for trade in 1668 and etc. All the numerical information you have to learn. Okay. Now Battle of Plassey and Battle of Buxar. So Battle of Plassey. Uh, in this short note, Siraj-ud-Dowla was ruling over Bengal. Excuse me. Okay. So in examination, a question asks like write a short note on Battle of Plassey. So you write at least 4 to 5 points, minimum 4 to 5. Then it is depend on marks. So Siraj-ud-Dowla was king of Bengal, and due to his impulsive nature, mostly opponents as then during that time British East India Company built and trade center in Kolkata. Then without talking the permission of Nawab, but the Nawab Siraj-ud-Dowla destroyed the fortress. Then that new reached Madras, and the small army of company led by Robert Clive in Bengal ordered to have the Kolkata Trade Center. So in spite of the army, East India Company being strong, so that's why it was not easy to defeat Nawab. See, I told you a short story of Battle of Plassey. So with the help of this story, you can easily learn this short note. And then conspiracy was planned, but the Nawab was defeated, and in which Nawab's commander-in-chief Mirzafar and Seth Amichand were coaxed to join. Then Nawab is unnecessarily harassing the people, but the war was declared at the ground near a village. Then according to that plan, Jafar was lost the battle and Siraj-ud-Dowla was defeated. And at last got a freehold over a 24th Paragonus. And in 1757, a company's rule in India was led with the Battle of Plassey. Clear? Good. Then Battle of Buxar. After completing the Battle of Buxar and expansion of company rule, I give you a 5 minutes for read. And please try to reading with speed because it is revision lecture. So Battle of Buxar. So Britishers made Mir Jafar as the Nawab of Bengal. Then tried to extract plenty of wealth from him. But due to greed to gain more powers, East India managed to dethrone Mir Jafar and made Mir Qasim the Nawab of Bengal. But the Mir Qasim proved to be more ambitious than Mir Jafar, and it is became a threat for the company. That's why then they removed the Mir Qasim and again made Mir Jafar as a Nawab. And at a Buxar, East India Company fight against the United Army at 22nd October 1764, in which it is United Army lost, and the company got the Diwani rights to the Bengal, Bihar, and Orissa. Is it clear? Good. Then expansion of company rule. Just a minute. In this topic, not that much important. So you underline the important points only. Mark the first line. English government passed a regulating act 1773, according to which Governor of Bengal was made a Governor General, and all the trade and political activities of company were brought under his direct control. Then Warren Hastings became the first governor. Then the problem of East India Company increased because it has to face both the power simultaneously. See students, try to learn as a story. Then only you can learn this. Then in second para, during the tenure of Cornwallis, the third massive war took place, but Tipu Sultan, which, uh, which famously known as the Tiger of Mysore. So the company had to join hands with the Maratha and Nizam to defeat the Tipu Sultan. Tipu could not win against the combined force and had to accept the treaty. And the condition of the system and the state adopted under these are as follow. And the army trained by East India Company will be provided that state. Still, the army would protect the state from the internal and external attack. And there will be one English representative in the state assembly and also foreigner not to be employed in the state. See, the Nizam, Mysore, Awadh, Gaikwad, Sinha, Bhosle and Hawker are the rulers who accepted the subsidiary alliance system. Clear? Now, Dalhousie policy of annexation. So, annexation by war and due to king dying without heir, then on the pretext of mismanagement, pretext of debt collection, and namesake rule. See, this chart is very important for examination. So you write this chart two times in homework book. I mean to say in rough book, and try to learn this. And I wish you have to learn this because it is very important for examination. So that's why I forced you. Please learn this chart. Punjab and Lower Burma under the annexes by war. Then Satara, Jaipur, Sambalpur, Udaipur, Jhansi under the King Davidhar. Then Awadh in mismanagement, Nizam, Bharat province and Karnataka and Tanjore. So beside being imperialist, Dalhousie was also a reformist. First railway line in India between Mumbai Thane, then wireless system between India and England, then public was department, English education, etc. They introduced during the tenure of Dalhousie. So it is a beneficial for us. So he passed a law to ban child marriage and advocate the widow remarriage. Within 100 years from the Battle of Plassey, the British rule and empire both expanded. But in this process, they had to face dissatisfaction of Indian state, and this was manifested in form of first struggle of independence in 1857. Clear? Good. Now economic impact of company and social impact of company, which is very easy topic, and if you just read one time then you understood easily. And also I give a detailed understanding and detailed, sorry, not understanding, explanation, detailed explanation in before this chapter. When we had done this chapter in detail, at that time I given a detailed explanation. So see that video and try to learn. Now you just read a one time because it is very easy. So don't cover this topic in revision lecture. And now it's your turn. Try to read this. Just go through as a line by, not a line by line. So you have just 1 or 2 minutes. Just go through important points which you underline the topics and etc. Faster within a 1 or 2 minutes. See, I also scrolling my screen so you can see here and also try to cope up with this speed. See, Battle of Buxar and Battle of Plassey. Read perfectly. Come on, fast. Fast reading. Read this chart. It is important. Economic impact. It is also important. But it is easy to learn. That's why I don't cover this topic. Still you have any doubt, then you can ask me through the comment. Okay, done. So here we done the revision lecture of chapter number 1, and next we start the chapter number 2, First World War and Russian Revolution. So in this chapter, important is the factors that causes the First World War. So first one is economic factor, then the second is militarism, third is groupism, fourth is feeling of fierce nationalism, fifth is role of newspaper, sixth one is philosophy about the war. So total 6 reasons for the First World War or factors that causes the first war. So there are 6 factors. So in first, economic factors, mostly information related to the economical factors like development of industrialization, colonization, swifting, then exploitation, then Asia Africa markets, cheaper goods, comparison to the other country, all are information or detail covered in this factor. Then the second one is the militarism. So in this topic, most important points are related to the military, our military, for the expansion of England, France, Austria, Russia, etc. With the competition, military force was necessary, and also start the expand in their military power. So Japan, Italy, Germany has a big military and to start a training. So he started a training at that time. So production of weapons was increased under the pretext of self-defense, etc. are covered in militarism. Then groupism, which state and which country signed the treaty with other country and group with the other country. These all types of information or detail in this topic in groupism. So there is a main two group before the First World War. One side was Germany, Austria, Hungary, Bulgaria, and Turkey, and on the other side, England, France, Russia, and Japan. And in the fourth point, feeling of fierce nationalism, you just read it. Then the role of newspaper, it is much affected and hatred among the people with their mutual, derogatory, provocative, exaggerator, and false write-ups by spreading the venom against the rival nations. So, newspapers' role it is very affected and important at that time. Then philosophy about the war, just read and underline the culprit to Austria within 48 hours and etc. Points. Okay, clear? Then First World War. So 24 nations supported the Allied nation and the 4 nations supported the Axis nation. But in 1917 Russian Revolution started. They withdrew from the war. But it tried to manage to drown the America steamer Lieutenant 147 American soldiers dead, and the America joined the Allied nation in 1917. Then the whole position of the war changed in the Bulgaria in September 1918, the Turkey and Australia in October 1918 joined the Allied nation, and the Germany leader Kaiser abdicated his position and ran away, and the Germans surrendered to Allied nation on 11th November. Here the effect of First World War. So first, the destruction of man and material. Second is the social change. Third is the Treaty of Versailles. Fourth is the long-term effect. Total four effect of First World War. So read one time only. It is very easy. Right now, you have to read this. Total 6.5 crores people took a part. So underline that. So out of that, 1 crore dead, then 2 crore were injured, then 17 lakhs were rendered a permanently handicapped. Please underline and remember this numerical information. Then social change. Read. Then the Treaty of Versailles. See students, from this point you need to write main four provision in Treaty of Versailles. See in the line number 1, 2, 3, fifth. There were four provision in Treaty of Versailles, and then you write that four. Then 6.5 billion pound was imposed on Germany. It is also important line. Then 58 commission and 145 session. See in third line. See and underline this. Underline that line. Okay. You need to write these only 4 to 5 points in this topic. Not need to write whole para. Then long term effect. So it was a feeling of revenge in signing the treaty with the nation that were defeated in war, and the Socialist Russia was not given a place in League of Nations and not join a League of Nations America. So that's why it can be said that the reason for the Second World War was in peace process of First World War was itself. Clear? So from the next revision lecture, we start the revision of Russian Revolution and the efforts for the world peace and the chapter number 7. So now we done today's lecture. Before that, I tell you, please read these two chapters. Just last topic is pending for the revision, but till the page number 12, please read 2 times so you can learn easily. Otherwise, it is little bit tough, not that much, but little tough for you because words is a little hard for learning and also for the speak. So try to read at least 2 to 3 times and wait for the next lecture. Next lecture is the revision lecture for chapter number 7 and the remaining topics of chapter number 2. Okay. So and also today's homework, write a short note on factors of causes First World War and effect of World War, and then from the chapter number 1 you draw that chart. See here. Okay, you draw this chart and write a short note on economic impact and social impact. Okay, so today your homework note down please, huh? Okay, so here we done today's lecture. Goodbye everyone. I hope you all see the lectures regularly and perfectly. Please be with us and doing study from home. Stay safe, stay healthy. Goodbye everyone.